Congratulations to Phil Umber, the White Sox pitcher who threw the 21st perfect game in Major League history. He was funny on Letterman, too. This week on the Spotlight, a very sullen-looking Bulls locker room. And Coach Tibbs was a little on the serious side as well as they prepare for the playoffs. We have trivia from Jax in Lansing, and we flash back to this 40-plus major leaguer. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 23rd year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Dirty Sock for Benkowski trivia. Thursday, April 26th, we start at 7:30, and back the following Wednesday at May 2nd at 7:30 p.m. We're at 93rd and Roberts Road. You can eat, drink, and play. Have fun at the Dirty Sock with Benkowski trivia. Want to get a haircut from a great hairstylist? Call mine, Rose Murillo, 312-726-2201. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Come see my friends at Aurelio's Pizza in Beecher. They have great sandwiches and salads, too, and pasta. The next Benkowski Trivia Show will be on May 11th at 7 p.m. That's Friday, May 11th at 7 p.m. Come out to Aurelio's Pizza in Beecher.
Hi, my name is Rose, and I've been a skilled hairstylist for over 10 years. I specialize in men's haircuts and in corrective color. Come visit me at Salon 203 at 203 North LaSalle, 312-726-2201. And while you're at it, come in and get a shoe shine and a shave. It's a great place where a man can be a man.
Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, or during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. We're back on the Spotlight. The Bulls on the brink of the playoffs. And, you work a locker room where a team is in a pensive mood, maybe. The Bulls had lost 5 of their last 10. And maybe you get players in not the greatest of vibes. And I would have to say that was the case with Taj Gibson, who didn't necessarily even turn to the camera. Danny, was kind of his profile, wasn't it, that you got? But, he still answered, and you still see him. But he wasn't really into it. He also seemed to take exception to a couple of things I said, especially vis-a-vis Miami and the Bulls' toughness factor. But these are questions that are raised. And I do believe that the Bulls, with a lot of really good guys, good characters, gentlemen, might find it a little tough to throw a dirty elbow or do a little something that you have to do, something underneath the basket when things are getting a little crazy out there. So that becomes a question. And you'll hear Gibson's semi-tense responses. Again, people just want these playoffs to start. By the time we hit the air, the playoffs will be just about starting. Just trying to find out the mindset of your team and the kind of things that you feel that you need to tighten up, as you hit the first round of the playoffs.
Right now, my mindset is just try to finish strong, stay focused, get guys even more ready, keep pushing in the right direction, always staying positive, and try to finish strong, like I said.
One thing that I just seen too many highlights about this, I guess it kind of is disturbing to me. I don't know if the team feels the same way, but in your game at Miami, there was some rough stuff, and see a couple of guys hitting the deck. And I don't know, in the many years I've covered the NBA, you usually see, somebody step up and maybe give a rough foul back as a message. Do you feel that your team maybe took a little bit in that game, and does someone need to make a statement to show that you guys aren't going to take crap in the playoffs?
Right now, we don't have to worry about Miami. Right now, we have to worry about Dallas. That's the next team that we're going to play. It was a physical game, and we can't really worry about guys stepping up, making tough, hard fouls. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but we can't predict who's going to do it, when it's going to happen. It's basketball. They made a couple tough plays, and at the time, it wasn't right. The refs didn't call them most of the time, but we just learn from it. And every time we play a game, it's just a learning step, and we'll take that in advance and looking forward to the playoffs.
Your coach commended your season-long ability to dominate on the boards, and I think of you in particular in some of the great offensive board games you've had. Is this something that you're thinking about, where you want to go out and dominate the boards during your playoff time?
Yeah, of course. What team doesn't want to do well rebounding the ball? But we just take our time. We just got guys that know how to rebound the ball well and know how to get second chance looks. And it's been helping our team all year. But we never know. In playoffs, everything's tighter. Teams are more smarter. And it's the best of the best. So hopefully we can continue our streak of just getting good rebounds when we need them. But who knows? We just have to just bring it all.
Not knowing the health of your club, if you were to have some playoff games without Derek, it would seem that the scoring burden would need to be spread out a little bit more. I've always recommended that you take the ball to the rack whenever possible. Is this something that you're keeping in mind, that you want to make your offensive scoring statement when you're in as well?
I'm not really worried about making a statement. I can score when the team needs me to score. I played many times, started many games. I'm not really worried about scoring. I'm worried about helping my team in any aspect of the game I can help them in. If scoring is one of them, then I have to take my looks when I'm open. But as far as that, we have a bunch of capable guys that are willing to step up. We played a lot of games short-handed already this season. So that's second. All these things are really in the back of our head right now. Right now, we're just worried about Dallas getting this win and try to focus and finish the season strong.
Thank you very much. Since 1955, Rosangela's Pizza has been there for you at 95th in California, across from Little Company Mary Hospital. You can call them at 708-422-2041. Everything homemade, including the sauce. Great beef and meatball sandwiches, pasta, chicken, seafood, desserts. Dine in for lunch and dinner. Rosangela's, 95th in California. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years. Excellence. Top billiard tables. The place where the action is. Jukebox Billiards. 7910 Calumet in Munster. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Bring your car to Quick Stop Muffler and Brake at 95th and Pulaski, and they'll fix it right. They also do shocks and struts, free estimates. Call them at 708-423-3700. They're very thorough in their work, and they have very competitive pricing. Quick Stop Muffler and Brake, 95th and Pulaski. We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk Bulls. Their playoff fortunes lie in the hands of that man. And hopefully Danny's showing Derrick Rose when I point like that. Because if he's not, my point makes no sense. But seriously, a little bit of tension in the air prior to the Bulls-Mavericks game. Not so much because they're playing the defending NBA champions, although there is some respect there and should be. Keep in mind, this is the team that figured out a way to knock Miami out. So inherently you must like them, because inherently you must hate the Miami Heat. But seriously, in the Bulls game against Miami, that bad one, there was a lot of physical play and the Bulls weren't represented well in that. And so that became a question for Coach Tom Thibodeau, asked by me, and some very interesting Q&A and some very insightful answers from Tibbs. Would you like to be through with these couple of games and just get into it?
Well, the thing is, you want to finish what you started. So we feel like there's still work to be done. This is a chance for us to improve, try to clean some things up. For us, we've had, our perimeter players have missed a lot of games. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity for those guys to get some work.
Does that tax the rest of the roster? A lot of guys have missed time this year. Does that, whether it's perimeter, other guys are playing more? Can there be kind of a collective fatigue as the season goes on when so many guys are missing?
Well, yeah, I think this is what we all signed up for. This is shortened training camp, condensed schedule, and we said all along it's not only the lack of practice time, but it's also the lack of rest. So those are two major components. And then as you always begin the season with the end in mind. And so as you wind down, you want to be playing well and you want to be healthy. Those are the two most important things.
You were losing only about 3 games a month, then you lost 5 games in about 19 days. Does this mean you're limping into the playoffs or not?
No, I think, and here's the thing. It's like, I think overall, this team has done a good job of meeting every challenge. So we've been shorthanded. The guys who have stepped in have done great all season long. We feel very good about the bench and what they've done. But it's been a collective effort, and there's still a long way to go. So overall, I'm pleased, but there's also things that we can do a lot better, and we're going to concentrate on those things.
Tom, how many practices did you guys have last year, and how many have you had this year?
Well, we're at, if you count, and again, I count meetings, walkthroughs, ballroom set, we're at 101. So that pales in comparison to last season.
What's half as many, or?
Yeah, well, if you include the playoffs, yeah. So, but, it is what it is. Every team's faced with the same challenge. It's how you respond to the challenge. So we want to keep moving forward. We're being tested. And, there's, the adjustment of when guys go out, and then there's also the readjustment when guys come back. So, but you can't use that as an excuse. You have to be ready for whatever is in front of you, and that's the way I want our guys to respond.
Do you feel like the East is tightening a bit? It seems like some of the teams, 3, 4, 5, 6 type seeds have been playing really well down the stretch. And
yeah, well, I think that like in just knowing that it's a lockout season, that you can have teams that maybe end up being a lower seed that really aren't that seed. And like Boston is a team that's playing very well, and they have championship experience. I think New York is a team that's really playing well. Indiana's playing well. You got a lot of teams and there's great parity in the league. There's not a big difference between 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. So I think a big part of success in the playoffs comes down to are you playing well and are you healthy? And so you have to concentrate on those things. I think what wins in the playoffs. I think you have to be well balanced, and you have to be playing well.
Without sounding corny, you have a team of a lot of good guys, good character guys, and you play a really rough game at Miami the other day. Do you have guys who can step up and show a mean streak when necessary, and if so, who are they?
Well, I think when you look at the strength of the club, we've been a defensive team, we've been a rebounding team for a long time. We've been a dominant rebounding team, and You can't be a dominant rebounding team being soft. I know that. So I wouldn't say we're soft. Now, were we disappointed with the end result in Miami? Yeah. And are we capable of playing a lot better? Yeah. And we were disappointed with our fourth quarter, but we also did a lot of good things in that game. That game was very winnable in the fourth quarter. So, we're going to make the necessary corrections and move forward.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kelly's Tavern has Benkowski Trivia near Sox Park at 44th and Wallace on selected Friday nights. It's usually 2 Fridays a month. Come out and play, bring some friends, have fun, tip back a few at Kelly's Tavern, 44th and Wallace. Be looking for you. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years. Excellence. Top billiard tables. The place where the action is. Jukebox Billiards. 7910 Calumet in Munster. Although he's gone to Toronto, an amazing story is Omar Vizquel. At age 45, he continues to toil in the major leagues. If he gets 80 hits this year and 80 hits next year, he'll get 3,000. Oh, well, here's Omar.
The last thing that people have to think about is where are they going to be. So I think that's what we need to worry about.
At this point in the year, there's some wear and tear on players. They start to show fatigue. But you seem to have great energy, and you seem to defy your age. What is the key to your workout regimen that keeps you playing as if you were 10 years younger?
Consistency. I think ever since spring training, you come in here and you try to find the exercises that are going to help you stay consistent throughout the season. We know that it's a long one, and if you try to work too hard in the beginning of the season, you're not going to have enough gas at the end. And I think you have to really pace yourself and know your body. I think a lot of people here are veterans that knows how to go through a routine of exercise that are going to help you to improve your game or feel better at the end of the season. And I think that's what I've been doing throughout the years.
You played so many games at shortstop. I guess the transition to third base is not that difficult. But I was surprised to see you making some amazing plays at second base where you're diving in right field and popping up and making throws. How do you adapt to that side of the infield?
Well, I say that taking ground balls in second or third or short, they're all the same. They're still a ground ball. But, you obviously there is different ways to approach a ground ball when you're playing on the other side of the field, like when you play in second base. I think that has been the toughest adjustment for me. I try to take as many ground balls that I can and try to stay 100% on the game mentally. I think, when we get in trouble is when we start thinking that a ground ball is a routine and you don't do the right steps and the right movement to get in position to get the ball. And I think that I like to do that. I don't like to take anything for granted when I play second base.
And I believe the same thing applies to hitting, especially with men on base. You come up and you advance runners, you get RBI hits. And I see sometimes some of the younger players seem a little unfocused with men on base or maybe trying to hit home runs. Do you talk to some of the younger hitters and try to settle them down?
Well, I don't like talking too much about hitting with my ex-teammates. I think we have a lot of things that they already have on their head, and basically you have to try to keep things simple. You know, you got the hitting instructor telling you something, and then you know, some other players come to you and tell you something. But basically, you just have to stay focused and simple. You know, try to think of one thing at a time, what you need to do, and just get the job done.
I know that you have had a great bond with Alexi Ramirez. Is he a guy that may be one exception to the rule where you would talk to him a little bit and say, you know, bases loaded, you know, take deep breath, calm yourself down?
Well, it's hard, you know, to talk to a guy that is a free swinger like the way he is. You know, he like to be aggressive, and you know, when he see the ball, he just like to jump at it and get the hit. But that's just the way he's been throughout his career, and it's hard to change a guy that he's doing that for a lot of years. Sometimes he was telling me that he doesn't like to take pitches because he kind of like start getting boring at the play. He doesn't like to, you know, wait for a pitch. He likes to be aggressive and jump on the first pitch that he sees.
Well, I know he had a 2-run homer the other day jumping, and that worked out pretty well for your team. Is there sometimes at odds where conventional wisdom tells you take a strike late in the game, but your young hitters should not be taking the strike?
Like I said, you know, it's a personal choice. I know I'm a really bad first ball hitter.
You are.
I am. So I'm going out there to kind of see the pitcher, to see what he throws, the angle of the ball, and a lot of things. But not everybody think that way. You know, I'm a little guy that like to be on base and taking walks and stuff like that. But these guys, they just like they like the long ball, and if they see anything fast that they can hammer, you know, they're gonna be aggressive and go for it. So, you know, it's a personal choice, I think.
I eat the pasta twice.
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people, have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. Lanigan's Irish Pub is the place to be at 3119 West 111th Street, right by Kedzie. Live music on Sunday with Fast Eddie. Drink specials daily, including $1.50 domestic bottles on Thursday, $3 Guinness on Tuesday. Call for karaoke information on Friday. Party room, too. All that available at Lanigan's Irish Pub, 3119 West 111th Street on the beautiful south side of Chicago. Get there, Lanigan's Irish Pub. Lindy's Chili, Gertie's Ice Cream at 110th and Kedzie has it all. From fresh-made burgers, fries, hot dogs, chicken, turkey, Polish, shrimp, tuna, barbecue, ham, tamales, quesadillas. They've got salads and plenty of ice cream with sundaes, banana splits, and seasonal favorites. Get all these things at Lindy's Chili, which is where I start, but I always get a little something extra, at 110th and Kedzie. We're back on the spotlight. We're at Jack's in Lansing, and the question is birth year of Ryan Seacrest.
79.
79. He must look good to you. That's too young. And we go to Cold Steel on Ice. Okay, celebrity birth is up now. Ryan Seacrest is the question. You must answer it.
74.
Correct. It's a 100. Cold Steel, the 170. Pints are up. They are a kissing team. 1939. No, it's not Dorothy and the Tin Man. It's Clark and Viv. Clark and Viv. Forward answer. Gone with the Wind. Oh, you hooked it at the last millisecond. The only other 1939 movie that anybody knows. 160. And the Pints to 580 and the lead. It just, it was close to the end. 5 seconds. 200. They're going to throw it. All right, so it's Matador's first throw. Oh, it didn't go. It went through everything. And now Miller Lite is up on Tom Hanks' birth year. Yeah. 5 seconds. 58, got to be within 2. 56, you got it. And Miller Lite to 770 and the lead. Miller Lite with a knack for the big one. All right, Celebrity Birds is done. We finish the half with the newspaper and movie kisses, pints. Kissy team. It's a Wonderful Life. These are the two kissers. Jimmy Stewart. 5 seconds. Donna Reed is right. Oh, at the last second again. You pull it out. The pints to 760, close to the lead. It was Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed. And now Cold Steel on Ice is up.
Let's go kisses.
It's the last of the kissing category. Animated film. 4 words. The kiss occurs at the end of the spaghetti.
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp is correct. And Cold Steel on Ice to 640. Nice play. You're 1 off the lead. Stooges are up on In the News. Here you go. At the box office, April 13, 14, 15, even though you're the Stooges, the Stooges movie was not number 1 at the box office. It was this film grossing over 21 million. The Hunger Games is right for 100, and you go to 720, close to the lead. And the Matadors are up. In the News, Chicago. Good God in heaven. Wait a minute. It's a roll the ball. It's a roll the ball. And the Matadors will roll against Miller Lite. Matadors and Miller Lite rolling. And the value on this is 120. Okay, Matadors first. Make yourself a nice roll.
Oh, Gavin.
Oh, this. And we'll have more of this trivia event when we see you next week, right here on the Spotlight. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.